Thank you so much. So as I say a few things, I'd like to ask our 4 speakers to come and join me here on the platform. So Commission Chair Rob Jones, Mayor Weaver, Superintendent Wilson, and Sheriff Craig, come on up if you will. I think we all should congratulate and thank Amberly Godfrey and Melissa Jordan for putting this together this morning. Help me do that, And as they come, I also want to invite State Senator Steve Gooch to come. He has a special presentation, so Senator Gooch, would you come and make your presentation?
Good morning. It's good to be back in North Georgia and back home. I'm your state senator along with Chuck Payne. We represent you in the state capital in Pickens County, and of course your local hometown celebrity, Rick Jasperse. We're happy to say we got home last week safe, and you're safe now because we're back home. So hopefully we didn't take away too many of your freedoms and liberties, but what we did do over the last few weeks of session was we were able to give you some help up here for one of your road projects that you were hit hard with rains over the winter, and Jones Mountain Road was extremely hit hard, and I think the mayor had some road damage as well recently, but due to the efforts of Governor Brian Kemp and Commissioner Russell McMurray at DOT, we're here this morning to present on behalf of the citizens of Georgia to you, the citizens of Pickens County, a check for $1,800,000 to help reimburse for the cost of that road.
This is a treat for Pickens County. As these fine gentlemen have recognized one or two more, I have a few more I'd like to recognize real quick. This time is limited. Again, Governor Kemp pulled this off. $1.3 million of this comes from the GTIB, which is the Georgia Transportation Investment Board at bank. We were able to pull that out. The other $500,000 come from the Emergency Ailment Fund that Russell McMurray, the DOT Commissioner, had graciously approved for. Kevin Mullins, also with GDOT. Emily Dunn, our board member up in Blue Ridge that represents this area, was very helpful in pulling this together. And then, of course, had a gentleman by the name of Dwayne Comer that is with EXP. He did the legwork and we had 3 bids that come in, and he went through them and vetted them and come out with the best proposal that we had that was guaranteed that we were able to get money from the DOT. That's how these proposals were put together. We were fortunate that it was under emergency situation, believe it or not, that we could cut probably 40 days off the process by doing an emergency type scenario. But we still had 3 bidders. One come out on top, GSI, Geostabilization Incorporated, to stabilize the one section of road that we have left up there. And so they promised through the contract that they can have that other section open in about a week to 10 days. And it's going to take 50 to 55 days to repair the whole concept up there. But again, I want to thank the state. I want to thank the representatives for pulling this off. It is a blessing to see money start flowing back into Pickens County. No strings attached. So thank you all very much. I'm sure there's going to be strings out. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. That is local, regional, and state government working for us, and we thank you so much. The state of the community is something that's a tradition in many counties and many communities, and I'm glad to see it come to the Pickens Chamber of Commerce because your attendance this morning shows how interested you are in what is happening here in Pickens County. I remember in 1979, my father taking me to a State of the Community Affairs breakfast in Orlando, Florida, where I grew up. And my dad was one of those people that believed that you needed to know about your leaders so that you could vote appropriately. And I learned a long time ago that you can't get everything by social media. You can't always trust what you read, but if you get to know people, you know their heart and you know what they desire to do. And I think we have leaders in this community who truly represent us well and who are working on our behalf. And so thank you to each who have come out today for this presentation. The speakers are going to have up to 12 minutes. I'm going to keep the time. There won't be time for questions, but I would encourage you to speak to them afterwards. And I want to remind you and us that this is not, the Pickens Chamber is not a political organization. This is an organization to bring all of us together to work for the betterment of this county and this community. And so thank you for your appreciation of these leaders. So first up is our Commissioner Rob Jones. Rob graduated from Pickens High School in 1971. He was a business owner in the community for 22 years. Became the sole commissioner in 2005 and the chair of the Board of County Commissioners in 2013. Help me welcome Rob Jones to the podium.
Who's got the controller? Who's got the clip? Right here. Well, good morning. All right, we got 12 minutes to teach. On beach that's going to work all right. Anybody want to put some bets down on that? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our logo. Pickens got government. I'm not going to just walk you through that. We're going to have to talk pretty quick to get 12 minutes of this in. But those are the three commissioners. You got, of course, Miss Denny, Jerry Barnes, and myself, Chairman Rob Jones. That has been a welcome relief working with two other individuals that have done well, and handy to do this. So all the responsibility does not rest on the shoulders of the subcommission. It was really we had some questions about it when it first went in place, but it's worked out very well, especially with two other individuals that are sitting in those positions with us. Facilities and county properties, we have, believe it or not, we have more than 1,400 acres. 1,100 acres of that is green space in Pickens County along 136 up on the mountain and around on the northeast corner of Pickens County towards Gilmer. And then, of course, we've got over 20 public buildings here in Pickens County. Budget and finance, you're looking at the total budget for the county is $26,327,000. The Board of Commissioners are responsible for $15,600,000 of that. And then the other elected officials, including the sheriff, judges, all that area, it's 10-6 to that point. And of course, we have Ms. Faye Harvey that is responsible for keeping those numbers in line. We appreciate what she does for the county. Human resource, we didn't have a human resource when we came on board in 05. It took about 3 years to get that cranked up and going. But right now we're managing, as you see, about 416 individuals with 287 full-time people. That includes total employees of Pickens County. And then, of course, you've got the volunteer firefighters, which is approximately 94. And that number is going to be dwindling and has been over the last few years as people don't have the time to do volunteer firefighting. So we've come up with a plan for that for the future. Public Works, can't hardly read that one over here, but anyway, we've got about a little over 400 miles of public roads here in Pickens County. Approximately 50 miles of that is still left unpaved. So working hard to get that. And believe it or not, we have citizens here that don't want some of the dirt roads paved. They have livestock on that road. They have horses. Most of that's on the west end of the county. You see that in 2018 we cleaned up over 500 down trees. We've had about another 100 trees after the first of the year with the storms that we've had lately. And then of course we installed over 100 drainage pipes over the last year. And when we replaced those drainage pipes, we increased them by 2 sizes. And it has worked so far this winter and this spring because we haven't had much flooding here in Pickens County, knock on wood. Of course, when you have 100-year floods every 2 years, it really puts a strain on the infrastructure that we've got with the 18 employees that work for the road department. Utilities, Pickens County Water and Sewer. Actually, the water and sewer of Pickens County was established in '69. It was established back when Tate, Georgia, was actually the only source of water here in Pickens County through the Georgia Marble Company. That was actually put together as an entity down in Tate, which the county wound up taking over. Right now we serve about 2,900, nearly 3,000 customers in the outskirts of Pickens County. I have 142 miles of pipe and reaching out across all 4 areas of the county. We are also tied into Gilmer County, Big Canoe, Cherokee County in 2 places, and also Gordon County in 2 places. and it's worked out well for what we bring in. I got another area I'm going to talk about here just a little bit in regarding the water that we're looking at for the future that has worked out very well. We're putting in about 65 meters annually, and have reached off, like I said earlier, have reached off the corners of the county, and it also blends into our fire protection, I'll get into right shortly. Office of Planning and Development, believe it or not, we are still issuing approximately 475 permits a year for Pickens County. Even though times are starting to change over and the economy's getting a little bit better, we're starting to see it pick up a little bit. We've issued 115 business licenses, renewed over 600 business licenses in Pickens County. And then, of course, 15 rezone requests. I'd like to say that all those rezone requests were not controversial, but that would be kind of stretching it. There were some that were interesting as we go forward through the process of rezone requests on some of them. Parks and Rec, headquarters of my staff did that. And that, we named Jones Mountain, is named Jones Mountain, it's not because of me. It was named Jones Mountain. But anyway, I was blessed with the fact that they were able to pull off, without me knowing it, naming the basketball area of the building down there for my name. Normally they wait till you pass away before you do that, so I know there's going to be something in line. But the community center serves on the average of 250 adults annually. Rentals and park rentals facility, we average approximately making nearly $40,000 a year for what we rent out on that building there. Fire and rescue, of course we operate 24/7, 365. Sloan Everett is in charge of that. Sloan was up there earlier. I apologize for Sloan, he didn't have time to fix his hair this morning. But he's been with us for quite some time and does a great job. Not only does he manage first responders, EMS, fire protection, but he also manages the 911 operation that would keep up for Pickens County and the city of Jasper. So that has worked out very well, and he's done a great job on that one. You can see the numbers there, and I'll go into some more here on the fire quickly. How am I doing on time? Somebody give me a here on this. 5 minutes. All right, emergency management and homeland security agency. That's a new area that we started here about 3 years ago. We have a gentleman by the name of Johnny Nicholson that operates that entity for us. And Johnny has been on board. We've got that thing doing pretty well. He has wound up in the last 2 years finding us $160,000 in grants. Those monies that he had received from those grants, we were able to put generators on all our pumping stations in Pickens County. We were able to put new generators in our fire stations that we are expanding here in Pickens County. And he keeps, whenever we have any entities, he merges with 911 that keeps everything running in times of emergency. We use some of that money for computers to help furnish his office there, so I'm going to thank Johnny for that. Of course, we've got animal control coming up. I'm going to have to skip around a little bit. We have the rec center again, of course, paid in full. The county is out of debt, and it's really out of debt because we got $1.8 million. Public Works, we have installed a brine system, one of the few counties in the state that have a brine system that matches the DOT. We were looking at selling it to some of our neighbors, and it is working out real well. Thank God we didn't have to use it one time this year, but we have got it in place. That's the new Moss Fire Station there on the southwest corner of the county. The area, that was the first one we're starting with, because that area right there is an ISO rating of 10. So with the fire stations that we've got now, on the locations that we've got on Station 11, the one in Tate, Georgia, and the one on Grandview, we have an ISO rating of 4. And then hopefully when Moss Station comes on, that'll help that area there also. And then we're fixing to start, we have bought the property, we're fixing to build a new fire station in Tate, Georgia, which is on Worley Crossroads and Old Highway, all of us know on Highway 5, they call it Kent Highway, I think now. That's right on the intersection of Tate. That right there is the old road department. We're hoping in the next few months, we're going to start a construction project to drop that down about 8 feet and build a new building for our road and water department and merge those together. Grandview Dam, that has been a very promising project. We were able to pull a 333,000 gallon a day water withdrawal permit from Grandview LLC. Grandview LLC was able to take that money that we paid them and repair the dam. The dam is private, they're using their money to fix the dam. But that right there gives us the ability, we're putting in a water treatment plant in the Grandview area, especially around the Salvation Army. and going to install a water tank there as we go forward. So that's our first reservoir that we're going to have in Pickens County. That was actually a gift, if you look at it any way you want to. It normally costs you about $4.25 a gallon to build a reservoir, and you have to have a 13 million gallon capacity, so y'all can do the math. So we were able to wind up with Grandview Lake, help them out for about $4 million, and proceed on it once we get our project done. So that has been an asset for Pickens County in the future. Right now we can buy water at $1.71 per thousand already treated, and if we treat it ourselves, it's going to be about $2.60. But we're looking for the future out for water resources of Pickens County. Stay connected with us. We are on the website. Be glad to have y'all come by the office anytime you want to. I have an open door policy and always had an open door policy. So if you have any questions, please call. And I hope I'm doing well on time.
So time.
I'll beat the clock.
Thank you, Rob. Would that PowerPoint be available if folks wanted to get that? So just contact Commissioner Jones for that PowerPoint. Thank you very much. Mayor Weaver has been a long-time resident of Pickens County, graduated from Pickens High School in 1970. Went on to teach school and coach here in Pickens County for 15 years. Owned a small business, has been mayor and city manager of Jasper for 25 years, and is the mayor of Jasper today. Help me in welcoming Mayor John Weaver.
I'd like to thank Amberly and Ms. Jordan for allowing me to be with you this morning. And I would like to thank the Commissioner for his presentation. I've been around Robert a long time, and that is a very good presentation, very tight and concise. And if you need my PowerPoint presentation, I'll give it to you after the meeting. But I almost had a coup yesterday. I was sitting in my office putting together a few notes for today, and I got a phone call from our state senator, and he just congratulated me and told me how happy he was to be bringing me a check today for 1.8 million, was it, or whatever the number was. And I thought, man, that road at Cove is going to be expensive, but it's not going to be that expensive. I asked him, can I do more with that? And he said, yeah, we'll probably go to jail. But anyway, I was excited for about 10 to 15 minutes until he started realizing that he was talking about Jones Mountain Road. And so it kind of blew my balloon, because I was going to not have to follow what you just saw this morning. I was going to be part of that. But with that, while I was at that desk, I was also meeting with a local developer, and I was trying to come up with information that you would be concerned with. I'm not going to go into the annual budget and all the things that you probably want to hear, but I want to tell you what's happening in Jasper, Georgia today as far as development. The development that is happening, just for example, I got the list here at the hospital. How many people seen the dust boiling and the dynamite going off and these type of things at the hospital? That project is nearing its beginning. Basically, all the groundwork has been done, and they're about to start work on 72 units of townhomes. This is going to be a senior project, and all the grading is completed, all the utilities are in place, and the curb and gutter is about to begin. And this construction project should be definitely underway by May. Another item this particular developer was talking about yesterday, because once he found out that I was going to speak at the chamber, he just started downloading the information that he had. And there's 30 acres south of what we call Polecat Creek. That is across from what we call the racetrack. That's where the city limits line is. The city limits actually goes down to Worley Crossroads. And this property has been negotiated. And I've not even met with Brandon yet about this to find out if we have everything in place. But he's matter of fact, going to speak with our engineer and start moving infrastructure to that location. And they're going to probably apply for a 30-acre project, and this will be new townhomes in that area. And of course, everyone who comes to visit you in the mayor's office who wants to develop, it's always going to be upscale, but I truly believe this will be what we're looking for in Jasper and Pickens County, because we have had several years of slow or no growth, and this is going to trigger, again, along with what's going on in the hospital, and as well as what's going on to the gateway that you see the big graded area north of the racetrack on the left side coming into town. But one neat thing about this particular area also, since we're in this area, how many people are familiar with Shelby Lane? Shelby Lane is the road that's behind Sackers. That road is always dead end at the top of the hill behind what is the gun pawn shop and the liquor store. It's now going to be continued to the end of the area that's there that dead ends to 108. And there'll be a road, there'll be an access road that'll take you all the way to the racetrack. How many people have come up that, I know you can do that now on the road that's a dirt road, but you can go to the top of the hill now, and hopefully sometime this year when this construction starts, we'll be able to hang a right and not have to get on 515 and go to whatever store you're anticipating to go to in that area. That's going to be really a neat project. But the neatest project that was given to me yesterday was the old blue building. How many people remember the blue building in downtown Jasper? How many people hated to see that be painted? I may be the only person besides Dan Poole who hated to see that road painted. I mean, that building painted. Why? It's the best landmark in Pickens County. People say, I want to come to City Hall, but I don't know how to get there. Well, come to the blue building, come straight across, go the first next red light, hang a left, you're at City Hall. Now, you got to come to the red light, come to the second red light, and everyone gets confused. But anyway, that building, I was informed yesterday, there is about to be a closing on that property this week. And I was told that I could say these things, I just can't give away a lot of names, but I'll know with me, I secret something, I tell one person at a time. But this property is selling, and it's going to be a restaurant. Obviously, that's what it was designed for. And I see some bankers shaking their heads. I promise you, I won't say much. But anyway, this property is closing Friday to a new owner, and this is going to be sold to a person who owns 6 Greek restaurants in the Atlanta area. And this person who's buying it has been in business for since 1982. And I was not given a name. I'm not giving a secret. If I was given a name, I'd tell you. This person is going to have a full-time chef, and this particular chef is supposed to be world traveled, and they're going to serve this. And I thought we were talking about the famous restaurant out of Savannah. It said Southern cooking, steak, seafood, and Greek. It's kind of like, if you don't like what we got, we'll have something for you in the back. But anyway, it's a lot of different items, but I'm not in the restaurant business, and I sure don't want to give anyone advice on how to run the restaurant. But they're also going to have local beer, local brews, it says, and local wines in this restaurant. And this, it's going to be open for brunch, lunch, and early dinners, and late dinners, and entertainment, what was given to me yesterday. But the neatest part about this, we're also, at the same time, opening on Main Street, Smoking Moe's Barbecue. So the town's going to be full of Southern cooking and smoking barbecue on Main Street. And my theory always has been, I know the rent's usually high on Main Street, but my theory has always been if you can get a preponderance of restaurants on Main Street, that people can come to town and think they can find a place to eat and everything is closed. It ultimately gives downtown a bad reputation. But with this new restaurant, with our existing New York pizza, with the Woodbridge Inn, and all the facilities we made up of that conglomerate, that group of that mass restaurants on Main Street that will finally make Main Street click. And that's what it's going to take. I believe, that's my theory, and that $1 will get you a cup of coffee usually. But anyway, I've got now, how much time do I have left?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. We could speak of all the things that are going to take place on Main Street, but the things that we're going to do, we're going to replace those last wires on Main Street with mask arms, and that is already underway, and you've seen some activity going. That's going to take place this summer. We're also going to, the big project, the widening 515 into downtown, is going to be moving forward, and I really believe it's going to happen this time. I think they have dates for 2020 where they're buying properties and moving forward with the pair of one-ways coming into town. And if that happens, it's going to be really big. Now, if I don't get into my water really quick, David Hall is going to have a fit because he did all this work for me yesterday. The thing that's facing the city of Jasper and Pickens County is wastewater treatment. All that you see on 515 would not be happening without wastewater. You would not have the density that we anticipate for commercial development. So the city of Jasper is fortunate that we're all the way to Polecat Creek, the racetrack south, and we're all the way to the post office at Talking Rock. If anybody ever complains about the post office address, the city of Talking Rock, post office is in the city of Jasper. So that being said, I had to throw that in. But anyway, the water tanks are going to be painted this summer. They're going to be refurbished. The water plant, we're going to try to increase from 2 million to 3.1. We're going to spend about 8 million. Hopefully, if the council can get together with our engineers, we will be able to double the size of the wastewater treatment plant because we are approaching our permit. And what you got to know is whatever you do for development, whatever you want to do for police, fire, etc., when we run out of wastewater treatment permit and when we run out of water permit, for all intents and purposes, Pickens County is done. But my theory with Pickens County, and I will close on this, and girls, I appreciate all the work that y'all did. I know I missed a lot. But I feel like Pickens County is set securely for the future. We are going to grow whether we want to or not. It depends on how we're going to grow. And my statement has always been, if you want to stop Pickens County from growing, the only way possible is to put a machine gun nest at Worley Crossroads, blow the bridge at the Etowah, and get Donald Trump to put a barrier around a wall, around Pickens County, and I believe people will come to Pickens County over, under, or through the barrier of the wall. With that being said, I want to know from you who are in this room today, how many people have moved to Pickens County during your lifetime? Raise your hands, please. Okay, that's going to be a better than 50%. And you moved to Pickens County because you liked our quality of life, you like the things that we have to offer. We're sitting here at the edge of our future. And every one of you would like to have all the things that you had before you left. But what we have today is probably the beginning of the end of what we moved to Pickens County for. They have families. I was in a traffic jam in Jasper, Georgia, the day before yesterday. And it just absolutely got to me. I thought, this is like going from Barry Parkway to Roswell. This is terrible. But with that being said, thank you so much for allowing me to be here today. I'm sorry I didn't have a PowerPoint presentation. I'm sorry I didn't have a $1.8 million check. Thank you so much. One more minute. We cannot do this. Brandon Douglas, please stand up.
Hey, Brandon.
He is our city manager, and I need 2 minutes of Carlton's time. Tell us a little bit about the Cove Road project, please.
Yes, sir. Cove Road's open. I think that was efforts by the mayor and city council and Chairman Jones and county staff and Lonnie Waters. Ultimately, less than 2 weeks ago, we had a rock slide that a lot of us did not know what to do. Fortunately, we were able to solicit some input from GSI, who kind of came out and did an assessment, and the mayor and council considered Thursday the 28th, kind of giving us the preliminary go-ahead to engaged them to do some scaling efforts and assessment. So Monday the 1st, we're able to solidify that. And by Saturday, we had essentially scoured the entire ridge, if you will, with 4 people and airbags, 50 tonnage, leverage bars, basically cleaning up. So if you travel through there and you see some of the exposed rock, just know that they would put in a 50-plus ton airbag to try to see if something's going to give. So if you see a rock up there that we all, unprofessionals, looked at too and said, that's about to go, and it's still there, it was a 50-plus bag.
Brandon, tell them it's safe. Let's say.
Yeah, it's safe. It's safe, and it's open, and thanks to all y'all for your patience.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Superintendent Carlton Wilson has lived in Pickens County for 24 years. He taught in middle school, was an assistant principal coach, opened the Hill City Elementary School, and retired as principal at Jasper Elementary. He served as a magistrate judge and was hired in 2017 as the Pickens County School Superintendent. There is no more important resource in a county than a great school system, and Pickens County schools are on the rise. Help me welcome Superintendent Dr. Carlton.
Thank you. Well, it's been a pretty dull and boring last few weeks in the school system. I've got a little PowerPoint that I would like to show you this morning. Currently, we have 6 schools, 3 elementary, 1 middle, 1 junior high, 1 high school. We have another area that we call DOVA, which is Dragon Opportunity and Virtual Academy. We serve about 4,300 students at the moment, 600 employees. We have 300 classroom teachers, 67 parapros, and we have our senior level seniority principal has 3 years experience. So we've got a number of people that have been in education, but they're pretty new in the positions that they're in. So we have a fairly young administrative team throughout our system. We're one of the largest employers in Pickens County. 6 schools, we have over 900,000 square feet, 350 classrooms, 291 acres, 498 air conditioning units that seem to go out every summer. We also were able to turn our former junior high, middle school, Jasper Middle School, it now houses Mountain Educational Charter High School. That we don't, I want everybody to understand, that is a separate school system altogether, and we're thankful that they're here and they serve our kids greatly. It's also a night school. It's not an alternative school, but for discipline purposes, it is a regular high school that serves our population that prefers to go to night school instead of day school. We also have partnered with the sheriff, and he's also partnered with Georgia Public Safety and turned that into a training center and an annex that we're proud to have. Currently, we have 60 bus drivers, 10 monitors, 981 years of combined experience. How many miles of roads do we have?
In Pickens County, 404, not county even cities.
All right, 404 miles. We travel 12,600 miles per day, picking up about 3,000 students. We're very proud this year the state of Georgia came out with a school safety bus award that encompassed a number of elements. They divided the state up into 5 different districts, and we were awarded the great recognition for Division 4 in the bus safety. All right, here's some interesting ones. We serve, if I can actually see it, we serve over 5,000 lunches each year. We serve 150,000 breakfasts, 40,000 pounds of chicken, 45,000 pounds of beef. 70% of that chicken came from Georgia. 56,000 slices of pizza. 38,000 gallons of milk. 95, I can't read that one from here, I'm sorry. Food service staff of 128 years combined services. We have 34 full-time employees and 6 managers that served all that food every day. And we're very proud of our lunchroom staff. The other thing that we're very proud of, and especially all of you that are in the restaurant business, you know what tough inspectors we had to make sure of safety. But this past year, all of our schools scored a 100% on every inspection this past year. We were very proud of that. In our health services area, we had 36,000 office visits to our nurse. 6,000 of those with chronic health issues. 55 flu cases. I should have made 56, but I didn't go to our nurse. 167 hearing screenings. You see a couple other numbers there, but I want to point out we also had 2,329 head checks for lice. I guarantee you, if 2 or more students gathered together, one's going home with lice and the other's going home with strep throat. Just happened. We also served 146 homeless students. We had 63 DPACS referrals last year. We've had 94 total this year. 53 hospital homebound students. We had 14 students that we're going to do tribunal, but actually they all signed in because of DOVA. We didn't have any of the hearings. We currently serve about 62 of our students this year in our DOVA program. We have 11 students. We started a virtual reality program, not virtual reality. Virtual Academy. Some of them think it's virtual reality. But we've started a virtual academy for our students, and we've got 11 students that are enrolled full-time online. They do have to come in and take all the tests and stuff, and we monitor them very closely, but we are offering that as another opportunity for some students that are not successful in traditional high school setting. So we're able to offer a number of students other types of settings to help get that degree, that high school diploma, which is very important. I do believe that with our virtual academy, we have a number of homeschoolers in Pickens County. And what this can actually do is that they'll come back and register and re-enroll a high school, Pickens County high school student through our virtual school. They can accomplish the things that the parents want them to accomplish as being homeschooled, but can also participate in all extracurricular activities through the high school because they are a high school, Pickens County high school student. And so that's going to open up some more possibilities for a number of our students in Pickens County. We are 100% debt-free. And we're very happy and proud that the county is now also debt-free. But we are very, very proud of that. Just real quickly, this is just a few statistics. Our graduation rate's the highest it's ever been this past year at 96%. Our career technical and agricultural educational program, we had 245 students complete pathways, meaning that they had to take 3 or more scheduled classes in a certain pathway to get that on their diploma. We had 185 students earn industry credentials upon graduation, and we had 58 students work-based learner participants. We're hoping to increase every one of those numbers this year. We've actually, our board had the foresight to hire a college and career coach that will help bridge the gap between dual enrollment, our CTAE program with our technical college, and our workforce development. And we're very happy that Daniel Bell has taken that position with our school system. We have a program that I'm very excited about. It's a REACH program, and the state this year just, I think, put it into law. What this does is we have committed that we will select 5 8th grade students. And we'll do that in August. 5 8th grade students, and it's needs-based. So it's 5 8th grade students, and through some competition, once those 5 students are selected, we will guarantee them $5,000 college scholarship upon graduation of high school. They've got to complete, they've got to sign a contract. and they gotta have the grades, the attendance, the discipline. We will provide them counseling, we'll provide them assistance throughout the entire 4 years of high school. But that $5,000 can result in with Pell grants and with Hope grants and the Zell Miller grants and colleges, and not only colleges, but traditional 4-year and 2-year colleges, but technical colleges. Those that partner with this can double that amount of money. That $5,000 scholarship can turn into actually a $60,000 scholarship upon completion. What we have to do in Pickens County to facilitate that, though, is we've got to raise $25,000 per year for those 5 scholarships. So it's $5,000 scholarships each. So I need that money to ensure, because the kids, if you could have been there this year, so the 5 children that were selected, it was just, I mean, it's what we're here for. And we actually, this year, changed some families' lives, giving those 5 students hope that they can, the world's theirs now, and all they gotta do is earn it, take it. So this is a program that we just started with and partnered with Reach this past year, and we hope to be able to complete that each year coming up, but I do need $25,000 a year to do it. We had National Signing Day. We had a number of students that signed scholarships to play. We also had some projects that we started very quickly. We've done a number of things where, of course, our big projects we're just about to kick off at Jasper Junior High, which used to be Jasper, Pickens County Middle School. It's Pickens Junior High now. I'm sorry, I'll get the names right eventually. But a big construction renovation program there. It's going to be 2 phases. We're redoing the entire school, ceiling, floors, lights, walls, hardware, classrooms, but we're also adding a performance art, 350-seat auditorium with a stage, new band room, new chorus room, and new office area. We're also going to make that school 100% enclosed, so that it will be a secure campus. It's the only campus at the moment where students still have to go outside to go from one building to the next building that's not fenced in. Jasper Elementary is still always a challenge, but we are getting that school totally fenced in so that kids and people cannot cross over our campus, or our kids can't leave the playground area. We also added $360,000 in security cameras this past year. We've got classroom cameras that also have emergency control buttons on those. I love social media. I announced a year or so ago that we were going to build a guard shack at the high school, and social media went crazy. They had us with barbed wire fences and electric fences and everything else there. And so I changed the name of it to Welcome Center. And we haven't had a complaint yet. I will say, though, that very first week that we opened with that Welcome Center, we had 17 cars come over the top of the hill and decide they'd turn around and go somewhere else. So that was just the first couple of days that we're open. Every day there's cars that come in and decide they don't want to come in because we have a Welcome Center. We also have a number of students that stay on campus now that decide to go somewhere else for work. So we've done a number of things. We've, of course, got a great relationship with our sheriff and all of his different officers. They do a tremendous job. They help us out a great deal. We're going from 4 school resource officers a year ago. We've gone to 6 this year, and plans are going to 7 in the future here. So we've done a number of things, and I'd love to talk to you more about security of our school system at another time, but I know I'm running out of time, Tony, so I'll let the sheriff finish up with us. Thank you.
As I said, schools form the basis of the quality of life as well as our security, and I want to welcome now Sheriff Donnie Craig, who served over 10 years as our sheriff. He previously worked as chief deputy, has lived in Pickens County for over 40 years, and earlier this year was named Citizen of the Year. Help me welcome Sheriff Donnie Craig.
Good morning. Sure is good to see a nice crowd out here this morning. And better yet, it's good to see that you guys are still here. The only thing about going last, you start seeing folks getting up and leaving. So I promise I'll try to keep it brief, and I'm going to run through a couple things really quick this morning. I will tell you things are going very well at the Sheriff's Office. You know, it's an exciting time for us. There's a lot of good things going on. You know, we've got 94 employees that it takes to run the Sheriff's Office. Normally it's 93, and Carlton mentioned that we're adding an additional SRO, and we'll talk about that again here in just a minute. Budget-wise, it takes us about $7 million to operate the Sheriff's Office. Currently, I was looking at some numbers last night. We're looking at about 5,939 calls for the quarter. Compared that to last year was 5,909 calls. We're up about 30 calls for the quarter compared to last year. When we're out there on the road, it seems like it's a whole lot more than that. On average, our guys working the road and responding for calls for services, they're running anywhere on a slow night is about 15 to 20 calls, and a busy night is 30 to 45, sometimes as many as 50 calls in a 12-hour shift. So these guys and girls are very busy out on the road. Our jail, things are going very well at the jail, unless you're an inmate, of course. They say a jail can house up to about 142 inmates comfortably. I'm not sure I would be comfortable if I was being housed at the jail, but again, our average inmate count is running about 88. Again, that's not bad considering we can house 162. Last night when I left about 7:30, our inmate count was 87, at 15 females and 72 males. Carlton touched a little bit on our SROs at the school system. I will tell you that I am very proud that 10 years ago when I took office, the school system had 2 campus police officers. In the last 10 years, we've added now 7 deputies that are working our school system. The relationship that we have with our school system is tremendous. I cannot thank Dr. Wilson and the board and the staff at the schools, not just the administrators, but all the way down to the teachers, to the custodians, the bus drivers, the relationship that we have with our school system. As you guys know, our children is our best resource. There's nothing in our community that is more important to us than our children. Recently, we had a situation at Tate where we had an intruder in one of our schools. I think that opened our eyes to a lot of what could be. But I remind you, and I tell you this morning, that the work that has gone on inside our school system over the last several years has been tremendous as far as security. We have worked within our agency. We have worked very hard with active shooter training for the law enforcement side. Every certified officer that we have in our agency is trained together and is certified with active shooter response, not only with the Sheriff's Office, but the Jasper Police Department, the parole office, the probation department, the state patrol. Every law enforcement in this county has been training together, working together. We've been going inside the schools and working together inside the schools. We've been teaching and working with the staff at the schools in the event that we have an active shooter, an active attack that happens inside our schools. Guys, we want to be prepared. We want to be ready. And I hope and pray that that day never comes, but if it does, we want to be ready. We want to be ready and able to protect our children and our teachers. Not only have we been training and working with the active attack and active shooter training over the last couple of years, but we've also been working with Chief Solomon Elrod back here with his staff, with the fire department, with county, and stop the bleed. So if something does happen, not only are we prepared, but we're preparing those teachers and those staff members to be able to help us with stop the bleed. And again, we're so thankful for those relationships we have in the school. Carlton touched base a little bit on the allowing us to use the vacant school there for the training center. We've been able to bring in the Georgia Public Safety Training Center, which allows us to have our mandate classes, or better known as the Police Academy, right here in Jasper, Georgia. We no longer have to drive down to Cherokee where they were at, but when they were leaving Cherokee, we were forced with the option of having to go either all the way over to Cave Springs, Georgia, or possibly having to go down to Forsyth, the city of Forsyth, not Forsyth, Georgia, but down near Macon to take our 11-week mandate class. I'm pleased to tell you this morning that we have started our 4th mandate session here in Pickens County, where we have graduated now 9 different deputies here in Pickens County, and we have 3 more in a new class that just started last week. We've also been able to take numerous advanced and intermediate classes right here in Pickens County, but as a business community, you'll be glad to know that we're bringing 30 to 40 deputies from all over North Georgia that are driving to Jasper to attend the training of the 11 weeks training academy. The state is currently looking at upping that 11 weeks to 17 weeks. And again, we're proud to know that if that happens, that we're able to keep our guys right here at home, here in Pickens County. Also housed in that training center is in a separate hall area is our training division with the Sheriff's Office, our Uniform Patrol Division, our Criminal Investigation Division, and our Drug Task Force. Our Drug Task Force, as you may or may not know, takes care of the drug enforcement for Pickens, Gilmer, and Fannin counties. Our office, along with the office of the Sheriff in Pickens, Gilmer, and Fannin County, pays a $45,000 supplement, and the rest of the money is funded through grants. Now, through that task force, each county is offered the commander of the task force, as well as an additional agent, if you will, for each county for Pickens, Gilmer, and Fannin. We have chosen this year to add an additional manpower or agent to help us with the war on drugs here in Pickens County that we fund 100% of, and then try to focus that attention here in Pickens County. In addition to that additional manpower, we've also offered our CFO for the Sheriff's Office to assist the task force in keeping up with their grants and their funding, as well as all their other financial obligations that they have, which allows our task force commander to focus more of his time out in the field and not to be spent his time in the office. One of the big issues I know that you've seen that our task force is involved in recently is the vaping issues that you've seen probably in the paper or on social media. You may have heard about it from our school systems. This year alone, we've had nearly a dozen kids from our schools for vaping that has had to be transported to the hospital. I assure you, we are not attacking those legal vape shops. We are not attacking those that are vaping legally. But what we are attacking are those who are vaping the synthetic marijuana. And those synthetic drugs have been declared as Schedule I narcotics by our Georgia Bureau of Investigation Crime Lab. And that is something that we will not tolerate any longer. We have and will continue to declare a war on this vaping and this synthetic drug. We are in the process of setting up a task force which will include law enforcement, the district attorney's office, our local judges, our hospitals, our schools, including some local parents have been involved with their children, as well as our local representative, Rick Jasperse. And we are going to come together and we're going to figure out what we can do to help stop this issue with our vaping and our children. I was told recently that we're going to receive a grant from a local business in the very near future for $15,000 to $20,000 that's going to help us with some of these issues. I'd also like to introduce you this morning to our new K-9. I'm going to ask Brandon Esparza if he could come up and step up on stage. He has with us this morning Storm, which is a Belgian Malinois. Brandon has just spent 5 weeks training over in Alabama with a program where he and Storm have learned to not only narcotics training but also tracking. You know, currently, and we have been involved with training with Cherokee Sheriff's Office for some time. With our, we've been part of a task force where we work with them on our SWAT training. Now with Brandon and Storm, we'll be continue our training and our relationship with Cherokee County and continue our training with the K-9 program that they currently have. Our tracking will not be for these hard criminals and these felons. If somebody breaks into a house or that is wanted on a felony fugitive warrant, we'll continue using outside agencies currently, but This program will be more for when we have a child that has wandered off into the woods, or an elderly person, or somebody with dementia. Rob, if you wander off, your wife and if our commissioner wanders off, now we can go find him and bring him back. But this will be the first canine program that we've had that will be a true canine program. What we've had in the past is we've had great handlers, we've had great dogs, but we've had very little resources. They've either had to be assigned to the road to answer calls for services, or we've had them assigned to the schools where they've had to be there. Brandon is going to be able to be available to our schools when they're needed. He's going to be available for uniform patrol, our criminal investigations, or to our drug task force on an as-needed basis. Needless to say, Brandon's going to be very busy heating storms. So we appreciate the work that he's put in, and we look forward to seeing what he's going to be able to do for us here. In closing this morning, and this may be a little different this morning, but guys, I just want to thank you for the opportunity that I have been given to serve as your sheriff for the last 10 years. I want to assure you it's something that has not been taken lightly, and it's definitely not been taken for granted. The last 10 years, honestly, has been some of the toughest times that I've had personally. You know, I thought when I was elected as sheriff, I thought I was going to be a shoe-in. It's going to be something that's just a breeze, because I had served 12 years with the previous sheriff, and I served as chief deputy, and I was going to hit the ground running, and I knew it's not going to be an issue. But again, it's been a struggle at times. It has. But I can tell you, there's nothing that I'd rather do than serve as your sheriff. And I thank you for the opportunity you guys have given. But this morning, publicly, I want to announce that I'm going to seek re-election as your sheriff in 2020. And I just ask for your support and your prayers in the upcoming election. And I'll tell you, I hate politics. I love being sheriff. I never wanted to be a politician. I just wanted to be a good sheriff. I know we do things a little different here in Pickens County, and we think outside the box. And I want to apologize for that. But again, I appreciate the opportunity I've been given, and I look forward to getting to work with you guys for many more years. Thank you.
Will you join me in helping thank Commissioner Jones, Mayor Weaver, Superintendent Wilson, and Sheriff Donnie Craig. And finally, as you're seated, those who are elected or appointed officials, if you're an elected or an appointed official, would you stand and let us honor you for your service in our community as well? Any of those that are in the room, please stand. Thank you so much for being here. We have door prizes, and after that, we're finished. So thank you again.